I've been working on cleaning up this area behind the house, and I did all the work with the Baumalight mini mulcher, or the mini skid steer with a forestry mulcher attachment. But there's a lot of big stuff in here that it couldn't mulch up. So I've got the Woodmax MX8600 hooked up to the back of the Summit, and I got the Summit dump trailer hooked up to the Hyson 750. So I'm gonna back that in there and then get to chipping. I think I got it close enough. If not, I can always back it up another foot. I haven't chipped in a while, kind of miss it. So this is the size brush in that mulcher on the mini skid steer. Stripped it of all the greenery, but it left these trunks. You can see all the mulching marks on it, but it just couldn't chew it up. Losing too many chips on the ground. My favorite, just fire and forget on these. A little greenery. Spread that out so not big clumps of it in my wood chips when I go to use it for mulch and compost. I got some big pieces of pine over here. I'll get to them in a minute. Got another big long trunk over here. I backed into it with the mini skid steer and I really messed up the bark, so I went ahead and mulched it down, but I couldn't mulch up the trunk. Petrified hard sap. I gotta do a little bit of chainsaw work now. I got that area done over there, and I got the area done here, like where the big ones are on this side, the big trunks, and I got the Summit dump trailer here pretty much full as far as to the top of the sides, but I can heap up some more on it. So I'm going to move down there where there's some more big trunks, but I've got a cedar tree here that I missed the other day as far as getting off all the side limbs, and it's kind of blocking our view. So I'm going to use the Stihl MS150. It's a little tiny saw. I inherited it from my dad, who passed away about 18 months ago. And he got it because it was a real light saw. And it is, it's definitely a tiny, tiny little saw. Just going to knock off these limbs, then move my operation over here, and there's some more, bunch of trunks over here. We're making all this effort so we can see through and see our neighbor's horses up there from our living room. But it's new to us because this was all blocked in and you couldn't see, and it really gave you a sense of you didn't have neighbors. I mean, you could hear their tractors running and everything, but now you can see the defining line of their pasture from the house, and it lets you see the boundaries of your property, whereas before it was brush and you just thought your property went on for a long time. So We like it, but we're still getting used to it. And while I got the saw, there's a little trunk over here that I hit with the mulcher, and I went to go pick up the trunk to put in the chipper, and it's still attached by just enough wood that you can't pull it apart. I know if you guys do any kind of wood cutting, firewood, whatever, land clearing, you know what I'm talking about. It's that one tree that's holding on by a thread and makes you go get your saw for it. It's a handy saw for limbing, but I just cut this pine with it, no problem. And I was going to say it never idles, and then it was sitting there idling, but it is the most non-idling saw you ever want to meet in your life. It almost never fails. Whenever I try to do something quick, like I've got a few minutes, so I'm going to get out and get something done, you know, maybe make a video for y'all, and I didn't have much time. Plenty of time to do what I had to do, but not time to fool with equipment. And I'm going to show you what happened. This thing got clogged because I ran those cedar branches through that I just cut. And it's easy enough to unclog, but you know, you got to stop. You got to stop what you're doing. And if it's really impacted, then it'll take a minute to dig out all of the brush that's stuck in here. But it only happens when you're in somewhat of a time crunch. I'll pick this up, and then I can see inside of my flywheel there, and you can just see all the wood chips full in the flywheel. And over here in the chute, you can see how full it is up in the chute there. So I can clear this by running the tractor. And for you safety Sams out there that are going to say you can't run the tractor with this thing up, I would say you're right as far as you're not supposed to, and it's not safe. And sometimes I'll take a risk. I take a calculated risk, so I can get back going again. I'm going to be very safe when I turn this on, but the manufacturer will never tell you to turn this on to clear a jam with this shroud not on. And I don't see it as taking a shortcut as much as to take this all apart and clear this manually or with a vacuum cleaner. It would take hours. It would take hours. And I'm just going to turn it on and spin it. But I'm also going to do it safely and get behind the tire of the tractor when I hit the PTO switch. You'll get to see how a flywheel turns. And I'll stand back here where the seat is protecting me, and I'll turn on the PTO. Now, how long do you think it would have took me to get out all those wood chips you just saw flying out? I'm going to say more time than I have to put into this job total. And I am certainly not recommending going against manufacturers' recommendations. This is not a sponsored machine. I'll guarantee I'll get more comments about what I did just now than I will about any other part of the video. But I did it safely. All right, let's put it back together. But Woodmax makes this real easy to take apart and clean that out and put back together. It's one bolt here. I always have an adjustable wrench, which I call a Japanese socket set. Always have one of these in my tractor toolbox. You can get through a lot of breakdowns, or at least limp yourself back home with, if you have an adjustable wrench, a couple extra pins, maybe a shear bolt or two, and maybe some wire in your tractor toolbox. She's back together, ready to chip. I'd say that's close enough. I saw the tractor move when I hit the tire there. That's actually perfect. I wanted to get something done today, so that's why I'm doing it. But I guess 2 days on a mini mulcher and the track coming off and all the aggravation and anxiety involved with that, it just got me worn out, because I shouldn't be so gassed after just doing one load of chips. But I'm ready to call it quits, but I'm not going to stop because I'm tired. I'm going to stop when the job is done. So there is a few big limbs down here that I think will top off this trailer nicely. Got to do a test stick to see where my chips are flying. I like doing what I was doing before as far as clearing up the woods, but it's not as satisfying as having a whole bunch of logs ready. Like when I usually chip, I have a big pile of logs and I just chip, and I can fill up the trailer in a matter of minutes. See where the chips fly. That was almost perfect. This should go quick. It was filling in right here, and then they would come off the back of the trailer, so I'd rather they go out there a little ways. Trailer's downhill, which is not a good angle for chipping into. That's pretty good. Oh. That stopped it right there. Should go now. This is the log I wanted to get. This will fill up the trailer quick. Sometimes it'll get a little shard in there and it'll stop other things from going in. It's rare, but it's happened today. This vine is holding it. Space left. I'm glad that was off camera. This was hung up in some kudzu vines, and when I pulled it, the vine let go and I went flying. This will be the last one. Yeah, baby, that fed beautifully and gave me some perfect chips. It was standing dead, so all the chips are nice and dry and slightly decomposed. Perfect chips for compost. All right, guys, we got a full trailer load, and I'm going to go show you something before we dump it, and that way I'll know that you at least watched to this part of the video. So you're going to see it come into view in about 30 seconds. And if you see it, I want you to put a comment down below and tell me what it is. And that way I'll know that you watched this far in the video. Because if you didn't know, the more you watch, the more YouTube will show our videos to other people. And the more distribution we'll get and the faster we'll grow. We're at 151,000 subs right now. We're trying to get to 200,000 by the end of 2025. So here we go. I'm going to make the turn. Get ready to type. Should see it right now. That was a pretty good look, but let me give you another one up close, just so you can be sure. Remember, comment down below. Alright, let's go dump these wood chips. The turtle in the pond. The pond's just under 5 feet. See if the Heisen can back it up this hill. Put in four-wheel drive and lock in the differential. Looks like the trailer wants to tip. Alright, everybody likes to watch this dump trailer dump. I got it at a bad angle though. This way to do it is take the tailgate all the way off, I think. If you haven't seen me use this before, it'll work on both the tractor hydraulics and hand pump. And unfortunately today, I have to hand pump. There we go. Dave will speed it up so you don't have to watch it in real time. Alright, I don't want to spread this too far. Hopefully most of it will stay on the pile there. But that's the end of the video, folks. Remember, life's short, tractor hard, and check out these two videos on the screen right now. They're pretty cool too. Go on, go on. We'll catch you on the next one. You're still here? I'm just going to lower the bed down, that's all. It's pretty cool to watch, so I'd stay too. What's the title of this video? The Piney Grove video that will never end.